נצור לשון חמך ושפתיך מדבר מרמה.
Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Speak It As It's Raw. Guys, I'm just going to give you a heads up notice that I am so emotional right now, like crazy emotional. And I've just been reading about the story of Aviv Geffen and Avraham Fried and their collaboration, and I'm going to be honest and upfront, I was bawling, like crying, bawling, it was crazy. And I'll tell you why. It is extremely emotional to see two complete polar opposite type of people come together as one and really talk about what is important. The concept of, love and acceptance and tolerance is something that I hold extremely dear and precious to my heart. What is going on today in the world, in all the social justices, politically, everything, it's heartbreaking when you look at it from a lens of true love and true compassion and true empathy. And we hope that we could find a ground where we all could agree upon and all work together as one. In the end of the day, we all live in this universe, and it is all of our responsibilities and duties to be those, good lights and make this world a better place. And just seeing this interaction between a diehard atheist and a Hasidic singer it's crazy. It just blows me away. And if this is possible, it gives me so much more hope, and it should give anybody who questions what's going on, it really gives us hope. And I believe that we could all come together and unify as one. I truly believe that. And I wish that I could even get in front of these guys, Avraham Fried and Aviv Geffen, and just even ask them, like, what happened? How did this happen? And there's tons of interviews, and I've practically watched them all by now. But what was that key word that Avraham Fried had to tell Aviv Geffen, even talk to me? Think about all this censorship that's going on right now. There's so much going on, and how did he break through that glass ceiling or that iron dome, or I don't know, whatever you want to call it, right? I heard at this point all these different interviewers relating to different things, but I just wonder, and this is just my theory, this is just my thought, and I would love if Avraham Fried, if you're hearing this, or somebody or whatever, please confirm it. And, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if I'm right, I would love to know. I wonder if it really is about what comes out of the heart enters the heart, because that's just the general rule. And I believe that Avraham Fried, being a follower of the Lubavitcher Rebbe, who was the head of the movement of the Chabad Hasidic movement that Avraham Fried represents and, is part of, I wonder if he's following that teaching, which the Rebbe used to always say, if it comes out of your heart, it will enter the heart. And I wonder if that was what was behind Avraham Fried's, approach to Aviv Geffen, because it is very, very clear that it's Avraham Fried who approached Aviv Geffen. And that to me is a lesson to all of us, at least. Let's not, I have this quote that I always use, hate begets hate and love begets love. And what type of world do you want to be part of? It's simply that we have to find a unifying cause between all of us. And if we truly mean to unify and to find love and to find, acceptance and tolerance and all these kind of things, it has to come from our heart. People feel the heart. That's what they feel. And when you truly mean it, it just enters that other person's heart. And so the lesson to us is, enough with the bigotry and the hate and the fighting and all that kind of stuff. And let's look for opportunities to really love each other and to connect with one another on a deeper level. Not with any, I'm sure that Avraham Fried or Aviv Geffen did not think of like, okay, you know, how much money am I going to get out of this? Or I don't know, whatever. Like, I'm sure that that wasn't, you know, the what drove them or their purpose, because we would all see right through it. But rather, I strongly believe that, you know, especially after COVID and especially through what we're going through, we really, really need to band together and unify. For all those that are calling out for love and calling out for unity, it takes two to tango. We really all need to love one another, and we really need to come from a good and honest, transparent place. And this is just an amazing, you know, amazing thing. And I'll be honest with you, I'm very hesitant towards, you know, these so-called influencers and these so-called, you know, famous people and whatever. I'm very, very hesitant towards them. You know, but here's a place where, you know, Avraham Fried, I have a whole new level of respect to him, like on so many degrees. And it to me, that was a flip of a switch for me. You know, this is a man who really, like, I wish I had even words to express. Like, I'm somebody who has like tons of things to say, but I'm blown away. I'm blown away. This is true influence. He used his influence to reach a person, and on a deep level, and it's clear as day. And I mean, every interview I'm watching, I'm getting more and more impressed and more emotional. You know, I'll be very, very honest. And just the other day in a meditation and in a prayer, I was talking to God. And here, guys, I'm totally coming out, you know, very transparent with you. But I spoke to God and I said, God, you know, I don't know what's your deal. What's your situation? What's your anything? My namesake, who is Jeremiah the prophet, Yirmiyahu Hanavi, you know, lived in a time of destruction and lived in a time of a lot of hardships. And I read his book through and through, and there's a lot of things that I relate to in Jeremiah's life, Jeremiah the prophet. And I just don't want to take part of, you know, negativity, and I don't want to take part of destruction. That's not what talks to me. And it bothers me on a very deep level. And so my prayer to God was, you know, you say that, you know, the Messiah or better times or whatever is going to come when all of us decide to band together and when all of us decide to repent and do better things. But the trajectory that we're headed in right now and the way it looks like, and, you know, those who consume the media, which I completely refuse to consume. But if you look at what's going on, it is scary. And in my opinion, only Mashiach could save this. So for me, it's a catch-22. You say, God, that, you know, we need to come reach out to you, but you know what? It's only by you literally saving us this is the way it's going to happen. But now that I'm seeing, you know, something like Avraham Fried and Aviv Geffen, two human beings coming together and joining in love and forming a new friendship, a deep relationship, I'm proven wrong, and I'm so happy about it, and I love it. And I have so much more hope that all of us could do the same thing. I really believe deep down in my heart that we have what it takes. And here I am getting emotional again. I really believe that we could find a solid ground, a solid foundation where we could all unite. I believe strongly that all of us, deep down inside of us, innately, we want to do good, and we care about fellow people, and we care about, you know, all kinds of social justices and everything. And I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Yesterday, my wife and I sat down and we learned a little interesting lesson, that there are different kinds of evil inclinations. There are obviously the negative evil inclination, the evil inclination that obviously tells you to do something bad. But that is kind of easy to sort of not listen to if we are innately good. And that means, we're not all going to go running around stealing things if some kind of voice in our brain tells us to go steal things. The majority of people don't do that. However, it's really interesting that there are different kinds of evil inclinations. There are, the good, the evil inclination that kind of dresses itself in the good. And that, to my wife and I, was actually very, very eye-opening. And basically the lesson that we studied, was that anything that hinders something that is positive in that moment, even if it's positive, can be negative. Which means that if I'm going to hate everybody else who has a different opinion than I, because that might be the right thing to do, is actually wrong. Love always begets love. And it has to always follow under the precept of positivity. If I love all kinds of different people, I also have to love all kinds of different people. I have to love everybody across the board. And if I fight for justice, I fight for justice every single time. I cannot pick and choose when I fight for justice or when and there's no way to excuse any negativity whatsoever. Looting, throwing bombs, fighting, punching, any of that negative stuff in the name of good is wrong. It's all wrong. And we have to find a place where only through love and only through heart to heart can we actually achieve this better world that we all deserve to live in. And I therefore I congratulate Avraham Fried and Aviv Geffen for this wonderful act of, true influencing, like true, being people who really, really showed us what it means to be human. And they are a great example, and we all have to take from it, and we all have to learn from it. And so I reach out to everybody with love and with compassion and with empathy and with care. And I really believe that we could all do the same. And it is really time to reach out to somebody who we perhaps didn't reach out to recently. And even if it's just a smile, even if it's just a good word, and tell them, I love you, I accept you, everything, So I really believe in that. And I believe that this world could be so much better. And it's up to us. It's really up to us. So from my heart to all you other hearts, I love you. I care about you guys. I have empathy. I have compassion. And let's make this world a better place. You and I together. See you soon.